I'm Steve Hummel. I own Archive of the Afterlife, the National Museum of the Paranormal. Experiences here at the archive have ranged from people just not feeling comfortable being in certain areas or rooms.
There's that feeling that something's like been around corners tonight.
People being physically touched or physically harmed. We witnessed firsthand that there were multiple scratch marks on her daughter's back.
Let me...
Whoa. Mm-hmm.
That was definitely in that room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Items range anywhere from burial mass to a haunted Dr. Seuss foot book that was reportedly from the scene of a quadruple homicide. The one closest to me will actually light up.
What is your name?
What?
Certain items that came from exorcisms, demonic cases. There are certain entities attached to items that I have in the dark room that are not to be taken lightly.
Oh, look what you're hearing.
Oh, that's crazy.
No.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. The Hope doll is, in my opinion, way worse than the Betsy Bell doll. She's caused physical harm, spiritual harm.
Hope, do you like being kept in the cabinet?
No.
What?
My friends from PQ and I were all investigating in the dark room. One, the doll actually moved by itself.
Something just breathed at me.
And then right then and there reported having a burning sensation on his hand, and he had scratch marks on his hand.
I'm getting ready to go do my solo with Hope.
Why are people so afraid of you?
I'm Steve Hummel. I own Archive of the Afterlife, the National Museum of the Paranormal. I am also the head curator of the museum. I've always enjoyed collecting random things, but after a trip to Gettysburg with my two of my best friends, Ryan Zackrell and Dave Gear, we had visited a museum. I think it was called the International Museum of Spiritual Investigations, which to my knowledge doesn't exist anymore. But we went to said museum to a meet and greet with Alexandra Holzer, and after visiting there, I kind of got the inspiration to do a museum after visiting there. But I had already been involved with tourism and tours at the former West Virginia State Penitentiary. So I'd say between the two places, if you will, that kind of started my interest in having a museum. After I was hired on as a tour guide there at the penitentiary in Moundsville, that's where I soon met one of my best friends, Ryan Zackrell, and a short time after that met Dave Gear and Jason McKinney. Ryan, Dave, and I got the inspiration to start a YouTube channel called Paranormal Quest, and that's how pretty much I got started into the investigation part of the paranormal. Experiences here at the archive in any of the three locations we've been to, or have been located at, if you will, have ranged from people just not feeling comfortable being in certain areas or rooms of the museum to people being physically touched or physically harmed. So it's kind of a wide variety of reports of paranormal activity. There have been a few people that have been scratched, including my good friend Dave Gear from Paranormal Quest, and there was a young girl who was with her mother upstairs, and while they were the only two upstairs, my friend Vicky and I were down here. They came down and actually we witnessed firsthand that there were multiple scratch marks on her daughter's back, the middle of her back. The room we're in right now is kind of like our greeting room, if you will. It houses our little very small library. We do keep our brick collection from haunted locations and my sod collection from other haunted locations, grave sites, and historical locations. The room behind me contains my mortuary collection. I have a couple embalming tables. We have a gurney. We have a embalming kit, different things like that. Another room houses my military collection and my collection involving the former West Virginia State Penitentiary. Two items in the funeral chapel room that tend to be highlighted more by our guests for day tours and night tours would be the wicker cooling casket and the child's viewing casket. It's the little white casket with like silk material around it. It's got little red flowers that we put in there just to pay respect to any and all, infants that were displayed in that casket before they were moved over to a little coffin for their burial. Then upstairs we have our haunted doll room. Dolls in that room, the ones that seem to be more active than the others. The first one I definitely want to say would be Charlie the Ventriloquist Doll. He's in the red rocking chair. We also have a doll called the Ashen Doll. It's in a little small glass, like a martini shaker glass. He was one of the first few dolls in the collection, along with the Sarah doll. And there's a little name tag with her and a little bit of history included with her display case. Other dolls in that room to look out for would be the Rejected Doll, the Mutilated Effigy Doll. It's another one that tends to get a lot of people's attention, along with the Delaware Doll. It's another one that's actually on loan from another haunted collector named Darren 10. He's from the Cincinnati area, so I'm actually keeping an eye on that doll because it was affecting he and his dog at his house. So now the next room upstairs would be the general relic room, and these are items very similar to the dolls, if you will, but I wanted to separate dolls from just your typical little, like the items, the trinkets and stuff like that. All the items in this room have shown evidence or signs of spiritual energy or being charged or haunted, however you want to look at it. Items range anywhere from burial mass to a haunted Dr. Seuss foot book that was reportedly from the scene of a quadruple homicide. And it's a very, very sad case. One of the four victims was a 2-year-old girl named Nasira. Some of the evidence off of it involve the sound of child laughing, footsteps, little child footsteps around the area, and definitely like a cold spot around it. Other items in the room that people ask about would be of course, the Ouija boards. Some people won't even go in the room because of the Ouija boards, or spirit boards, whatever you want to call them. Other items in there that people ask about are the strands of hair that I have that belong to Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen. I do have a couple strands of her hair that were donated by a friend of mine. The next room, we don't really have an official name for it. We just call it the Infirmary Asylum Room. So these items in this room pertain to infirmaries, asylums, poor farms, different things like that. The main items in this room that people have reported either feeling energy from or spiritual impressions from, or even gathering evidence from during investigations would be the bed frame mainly, and that is from LOE Psychiatric Hospital up in Michigan. Another item that's new to the collection that has shown signs of energy by people using REM pods and K2s would be we'll call it the patient's chair, but it's a chair that's widely back in the day was used for dentistry, could have posed bodies for postmortem photography. But since I've had it, there's been a lot of people who've investigated the museum here that have made reports of them experiencing vibes, if you will, from the chair, and or responses using the equipment from the chair. Since we moved to this location, I wanted to be able to have an area to separate certain items that came from exorcisms, demonic cases, items that have histories of causing people bodily harm, emotional harm, spiritual harm. I wanted to have a room to separate them into, to have it as an optional room for people visiting the museum to go into and experience. Every tour that people do, they're told about the dark room, and it's under their own choice and free will that they go into the room. So the room, again, is used for items that were used in or around exorcisms, items that have energy that have caused harm in any way, form, or fashion to people, and items used in or around demonic cases and whatnot. Many of the items in the dark room tend to reach out to people's curiosity. One of them especially would be the Betsy Bell doll. That came from another paranormal investigator named Curtis Lee. He traveled one whole day from his home in Virginia. It was actually during one of my Paracons I had. Traveled all the way up just to donate the doll. He didn't even want to mail it. He wanted to make sure it got here. One of the main things that happened with that doll is once with him during his investigation, and once with under my ownership with Paranormal Quest, 2 different times the name 𝐊𝐍𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐿 came up during during 2 different EVP sessions. It's also been known to potentially push, especially ladies, if they got too close. But we were told that it's definitely a darker entity. I personally feel it's more likely so a demonic energy. The 666 Bible, that was donated by a guy, a young man from Glendale, West Virginia, just north of Moundsville. And his story goes, he found it while urbexing through an abandoned building while he was away in college. And from what he and I gathered, the building he was in was the Morris Memorial School for Crippled Children. That's what it was called back in the day at some point. But it was abandoned while he was going through it with he and his friend. And as they were going down a hallway, he looked in one of the windows of the doors to one of the rooms, and looking in, he saw this book opened up on the floor with an angel figurine sitting on one of the open pages. So we went into the room, looked at the book, and found out that it was a Bible. Opened to page 666. So he got home. He started taking stuff out of his urbexing backpack, and he said, right pretty much since he took the Bible out of his backpack and set it up on his fireplace mantle, within 3 days, his family cat died, the family dog got sick, and his mom got sick. There are certain entities and attached items that I have in the dark room that are not to be taken lightly. And that kind of leads into another vessel, if you will, that's in the dark room. And we call her the Hope Doll. The Hope Doll is, in my opinion, worse. Way worse than the Betsy Bell doll. She's caused physical harm, spiritual harm. I've had multiple dreams involving the Hope Doll. I don't recall if I was like asleep at night or just daydreaming asleep. All I know is I've had past dream sequences that involved that doll, and made me, and in those dreams made me very, very we'll just say mad, like really irritated. A couple interesting things did happen with the Hope Doll while my friends from PQ and I were all investigating in the dark room. One, the doll actually moved by itself. It moved about 8 to 10 inches to the left. We had it up in the the seance chair. It's a black chair up there we use just for investigating purposes only. And then the second investigation, if I recall correctly, Dave was oddly enough kind of doing, kind of up in the doll's face, kind of provoking it. And then right then and there, he reported having a burning sensation on his hand, and he had scratch marks on his hand. And he was not too far away from the doll, as I recall. So there's been some interesting experiences with the Hope doll, for sure. It's been over a month, more than a month, really, since anyone's really been in the building, let alone investigate it. So I would say just go through with an open mind. Go through with an open mind and let the collection speak to you. I think that's the best advice I can give you.
If there's anyone here with us tonight, I'd like to formally introduce ourselves. My name's Danny. We've been invited here by Steve to come and talk to you this evening. And some of you might be familiar with me from a couple of years ago. There's some new ones that I haven't met yet. But do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Marcus. Very good friends with Danny. Very good friends with the people in this room. I just want to say I and we mean absolutely no disrespect by being here. We just hope to communicate with whatever or whoever may be here connected with these items. We wish you the utmost respect.
I'm Tim.
I'm Zach.
And you all know your guy. And if there's anyone here with us, we would really appreciate it if you would walk over to the device by Charlie here. It has a red light, and if you would be so kind to walk over to it and touch it, it will also make different lights light up, different colors, and will make some noises. And that will let us know that you're here with us. I just heard something from that corner. I just heard something from that corner.
I heard like movement from my right.
Something out there.
It was distant.
You know, the entire day, I've been excited to come up here. And most of the times, like, I used to get freaked out. Like, I would get, not like specifically with the museum, but I mean, just places in general, like some of them like freak me out. And I just, like Greene County, I was totally freaked out for some reason there. And being here, being surrounded, and maybe it's because all of you guys are in the room right now. Like I feel calm and I feel slightly okay. Slightly okay. But I don't know. It's just like I've been walking around. I've left the downstairs. You guys were all down there, and I'd walk up here by myself and just do some things, and then walk back down. And there's that feeling that something's like been around corners tonight, like just peeking out and like checking on like what am I doing here?
Okay.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah, you'll have that. There's some times when there'd be no tourists in here, or guests or whatever, and I'll be sitting down at my desk, and sometimes it always seems there's someone just outside, well, just in like where the embalming table's at, just on that side of the little archway, just like around that little corner.
And get that.
Once in a while, you actually hear sometimes like a little bit of a weight differential on the floor a little bit.
I
Sometimes.
felt that a second ago. It felt like
Shifting or rumbling.
yeah. Did anybody else feel that? It was like 20 seconds ago.
Well, when you guys said you heard something, I heard it right there, dead center in the floor.
I saw you pointing down.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I've noticed, I don't know if it's just I have bad hearing, but sometimes.
I made a squeak with my lips by accident. Sorry.
Like sometimes it seems like I can't tell the way something's echoing off of a surface.
Yeah.
Like I'll swear it came from this side, but sometimes, oh no, I heard it over here. You know, sometimes the echo is off in here sometimes.
I think, I think it might be a good idea. We've been experimenting with GhostTube and GhostTube Vox. I think I definitely want to try GhostTube Vox in here to see if anything will come through.
Okay.
I like it.
If anyone is here with us, there's a device in my left hand, and if you get close enough to it and you speak into it, we can hear your voice. Now, I know Charlie's eyes are painted on, and they're looking dead at me, so, Charlie, I feel like, we had a moment a few years ago.
I'm gonna sit down.
Yeah, you're good, man. Charlie, we had a moment a few years ago, and I felt like you were talking to me through the spirit box. While investigating the archive at its previous location, the Sanford Elementary School, two shadow figures were captured behind me, coming from the corner where Charlie was placed. At the time of the encounter, I could feel something behind me, but had no idea what we caught until I was going through the evidence. Using the PSB-7 Spirit Box, I walked over to Charlie and had a truly incredible response.
What else here? That just said, Danny, I heard you loud and clear. Can you say your name?
So, will Charlie remember me? And if he does, what's going to happen to us? It seems awfully quiet in here tonight.
Sometimes you'll get that feeling it's quiet, but it's like calm before the storm.
That made me jump.
Charlie, do you like your name? Do you like being called Charlie?
Something just drained my battery.
What?
I'm dead.
No way. Let me
Yeah.
see. Film that, Zach. Dude. I couldn't make it out. Dude, those, you guys,
These are brand new
we
batteries.
literally,
Brand new
I
batteries.
watched you put them all in.
I'm gonna stop recording just cause those were brand new.
Yeah.
I guess shut it off for now.
I can go down and put new batteries in it, come back up.
That's alright. We'll just,
It's weird.
I was watching it, it was full charge, and it just dropped.
was that someone in this room? Did you drain those batteries? That was fresh batteries. I made sure to change all of the batteries.
They want.
What do you want? And who's they? What is they?
Almost sounded angry. How many of you are here? Do you know that you're here?
The dark time?
As in dark times or something like that?
Yeah.
That was really unsettling.
Like,
I'm the devil? Become the devil?
it was too quick for me. I couldn't.
Can you repeat that? We didn't understand.
Do you like us being here?
We're gonna ask again to repeat yourself.
What's your name?
That was me.
Marcus, why don't you hold us too?
You need somebody to just walk up and show you how to use the REM pod?
If you walk up to this little red light here, you get close to it, the lights will dance and make fun noises. You can play a game with us that way.
20?
20. Were you answering me when I asked how many of you are here? Music.
Who moved the white tiger? The striped stuffed animal. Who moved that? Can you do it again?
He took.
He took what?
Something tried to come through.
Yeah.
Is there something or someone not allowing you to speak with us?
I was, yeah.
Who are you? Who are you? Why don't you want them to speak?
Is it here? Okay.
How long have you been here?
You're gonna need to speak a little bit clearer than that for us. There's a ball in Charlie's chair. If you touch that ball, it will also light up different colors. Can you walk over? Or Charlie, can you touch that ball and make it light up?
I felt something walking.
I don't know.
The gentle.
But it seems like there's something distorting or slightly moving Charlie's face. It might be the lighting in my glasses, because they're not exactly new prescription, but
If I make a rhythm by knocking, can you finish the rhythm?
As our attention is focused on Charlie, my camera captures a strange light beam right beside him.
If I make a rhythm by knocking, can you finish the rhythm?
I've never seen anything like this before, and it's definitely not a light flare or anything of the sort. It also wasn't captured on Zach's camera. So is this Charlie manifesting in front of us? Could it be a different spirit? Or could it simply be a digital artifact in the information of the footage?
What's that? I'm gonna knock on the wall. Can you knock back? Put back? I'm hearing something that way.
Who is that?
Are you mocking us? Put back. Or get back.
you knew it dun 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 dun, and that was like. It might have been a response to that movie that you made.
I just had a weird tingly feeling go up my hand.
If you're not attached to Charlie, what are you attached to in here? This whole silent treatment's not going to work, because we all know why you're doing
Sound like I said listen.
Well, we've been listening. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Are you of this world? Satan.
There's 6.
One of the two. It
Yeah,
was
that
either
was-
6 or it sounded like it said Satan.
It sounded like 2 syllables.
What are you attached to? If anything. That was kind of menacing.
It sounded like it said a name.
Either that or like it was gonna say predatory or purgatory, but it got cut off.
Sounds like it's like pressure.
Pressure, yeah.
Can you just do something to show us you're here? Give us a knock. Knock wherever you're at.
Are you afraid of us?
Can you move something?
A pretty obvious horn.
Yeah.
Carter's with us.
Can you move something? Can you move one of the objects in this room? Can you move something? Can you move one of the objects in this room?
Can you push one of the rocking chairs?
Breathing. Did you?
2 knocks out that way.
Do you want us to go in another room? Previous?
That's yeah.
Music. Do you have any? Yeah, that's a couple times now we've gotten something harmonious. What in this building would play music? Is there an organ or anything in the chat room?
No.
Any like record players or anything?
Downstairs, but it's an old school record player. What are your intentions?
Dude, when the cars go by.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was almost perfect timing.
The last one made it all the way by and the horn blew. This one here was right in front and the horn blew.
Are you playing? Are you toying with us?
That makes no sense. Oh, it's so weird.
Are you watching from outside? Or are you around a corner, as Danny had said? Listen to her.
Are you talking about someone down the hall?
Should we go in the dark room?
I was
Come on.
for a couple times I was wanting to ask you, do you know anything about the Hope Hall? I've been meaning to ask that, but it really didn't pertain to this room. What do you know about the Hope doll? The tall doll in the room at the end of the hall. What do you know about her? Or it? Or whatever?
It's so strange for that to come through.
What item in this entire building should we be leery of?
Chair?
Your chair.
Chair?
Well, you mean earlier you talked about that chair.
That chair.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think we should go in the dark room.
I will say this while we're
Don't. It's something. I thought it said something come in.
When Sean Austin was here and Eric, they were investigating, we started downstairs. And whatever it is, we heard footsteps in this room. It brought us up to this room, and then whatever we were capturing took us into the dark room. Always verbatim. Like stepping stones to the dark room. Do you want us to go into the dark room? Are you luring us into the dark room? You might as well just say it. If that's what you're doing, just say it.
I think it, dude, I honestly think it wants us to go in there.
That's what always tends to happen.
Let me.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what always tends to happen.
Let me. Let me. Let me.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys look back in there. There's just a little bit of storage.
Yeah.
It's a kitchen basically, but there's nothing in there.
Come out here and knock on something.
We investigate for another couple of minutes and decide it's time to make our way down the hall to the general relics room. A lot of different energies are housed in here, and I want to see if any of them will be active. Specifically that of the haunted Dr. Seuss foot book.
Hello? We would love to talk to you, but I need you to speak a little bit more clearly. And if this is too hard for you to speak into, Danny and Zach are both holding cameras that you can also speak into. It might pick you up a little bit easier. Or there's a...
Let's try regular ghost tube and see if that helps.
Or there's a little black box on the coffee table that you can also speak into.
And Nasira, if you're here, there's little toy balls on the top of the glass. There's a little table. You can push those around or whatever. One of them, the one closest to me, will actually light up.
What is your name?
What?
My name's Steve.
My name's Danny.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Tim.
My name's Zach.
What's your name?
Can you introduce yourself?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us your name? Are you afraid to tell us your name?
Are you attached to something in this room?
Your name is Nasira? Are you familiar with the book right there on the in the case? On the table? There are a lot of items in here. Which are you familiar with?
We're only here to talk to you. We're not here to cause harm. We just want to know your story. And you can tell us how you got here. We really appreciate you coming through and talking to us. Do you want someone to stay up here?
Are you uncomfortable with us being in here?
Sarah, if you can hear me, I'm aware of what happened to you.
Brother.
Does that have any significance? Is there anything in here?
I'm not sure. I mean, it could.
Did she have a brother?
No, I don't know. I don't know if she did or not.
Do you miss your brother?
What was your brother's name?
While we're all standing completely silent and still, waiting for a response on any of the devices, a disembodied voice is captured on my camera's audio saying, "Could this be the Hope doll telling us that she's locked in the next room? Or is it another spirit attached to something in this room wanting to be put away into the dark room?"
Is there somewhere else we should go? I know you haven't had anybody to talk to here recently. I'm sure it gets lonely.
I just want to make a note that I felt something.
Pressure neck.
Well, just kind of felt like just a slight wind.
Like a wisp.
Yeah, just a wisp of wind.
Is there someone near Danny right now?
Might want to note there's no heat or AC on.
No. Yeah, there's no.
Yeah.
And actually, the gas line to this house has been shut off. Like, it actually needs replaced.
I've been hearing it for a few seconds.
Well, we've all been wanting to go in there.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just burped.
No, it was good. Being office here, I keep hearing like 3 knocks, knock, 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 on like some thin wood.
Yeah.
If you want us to leave and go into the other room, come up and touch the REM pod for us. Just make it blip. Make it go off. And we'll go into the other room.
Sometimes you got to think too, maybe they do, but they don't have enough power to really, energy to actually set it off. I've always wondered that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you are and we can't hear it, or we can't see it, we do apologize. You know, there's a lot with communication between your side of the veil and ours that, you know, a lot of people really
Speak.
Speak?
Speak.
speak. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, and we're really hoping to communicate with you.
Maybe that's them saying that they're trying to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really trying, and now we know you're really trying, so that's progress. That's progress.
Thank you. Again, we mean no intrusion or disrespect. We only want to try to communicate with you. And if there's some way we can help you, let us know.
Just heard something back in here. Are you back here hiding behind me?
Protect.
Do you feel safe around Tim?
What are you trying to protect?
Is something holding you back from speaking to us tonight? Is there not enough energy, or is there something keeping you from speaking? You're allowed to use the energy from the batteries in our devices. If that helps you manifest yourself in some type of way.
What is that?
Our devices, our batteries, they're in our hands. There's lights in front of us.
I had like cobwebs on my face, like right here, but it might have been my hair.
Your hair's not that long, bro.
It's like, okay, it was felt right in here.
Can you hear me?
We can now.
Wow. However you're doing right now, whatever you're doing right now, we're able to hear you this way, the way you're doing it.
Who asked that question?
What's your first name?
Pendant.
Pendant.
Marcus, you normally wear.
He's got a pendant on, you got a pendant on.
I got one here. I'm only wearing one of mine today.
What about the pendant?
I don't think there's one over there. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing one during.
I don't think there's one over there. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing one. I don't remember seeing one. I don't remember seeing one during the tour or anything, or while we were even getting B-roll.
Tell us about the pendant. What's the pendant look like?
I wear mine for protection. And they hold some value to me. They remind me of things and people.
I wear mine in memoriam.
Well, I think it's time for us to go into that room, just because
Yeah.
it feels like everything that we've been talking about. I've been thinking about hope
So even like before today, even before packing up, I kept thinking about Hope for some reason. And I think we just need to go in there. This is the moment that we've pretty much all been waiting for.
Yeah.
Hope, and to the others in this room, it feels really. For one, it's the cold. I feel like this is the coldest room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say this is the side of the house that gets the sun last during the day.
Okay.
But it was cold today anyway, so
Yeah, but I mean, it is freezing in here.
it's like to the bone cold.
What's the temperature say on that?
48.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Yeah. To the. Oh, fuck. All right, I'm nervous now.
It's got this odd vibe to this room right now.
Yeah.
Like something's off.
Yeah, as opposed to the other rooms, like this feels weird.
Hey, Hope, these 4 guys are good friends of mine. Not quite sure what mood you're in today, or tonight for that matter. But they're going to let you know who they are.
Hope, my name's Danny. I have been waiting for this moment for a while now. And our paths have crossed, but I've never fully communicated with you or tried to communicate with you. I don't know, man. I'm getting like, earlier I was telling you I was excited, and now it's just, all right, it's here. This is the moment. Hope, we want you to communicate with us tonight. We would like for you to interact with the devices that we have set out here. And if you could, we would really appreciate that. And I've brought some friends with me to also experience you and the others in this room.
Hello, Hope. My name is Marcus. Just want to let you know I mean no disrespect being here. I hope you feel comfortable with us being in here. Just want to see if we can communicate with you a little bit this evening.
Hope, I'm Tim. I've seen a lot of videos about you. I'd like to be able to see or experience some of the things that, you know, I've seen on the videos in the past. You know, we mean you no harm. You know, just like to get to know your past.
And, hello, Hope. My name's Zach. I'm not going to be talking much. You don't have to worry about me.
Let's try Fox. I have that device that I was talking about. Feel free to walk up to me and speak into it.
We wish to communicate with whoever or whatever is attached to the doll in the case. We've been calling you Hope. Is that your name?
Who are you? What are you?
Satan's power.
Satan's power. Or Satan's power.
Satan's power.
I'm going to document that, but I was actually doing a prayer under my voice doing that.
You were doing a prayer while that happened?
Yeah.
What is attached to hope?
Hope, was I praying?
Oh.
What was your
Oh,
ear?
that's crazy.
No.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
No.
Dude, I've never...
Oh, God.
And they would, in the report of that, they would hear that. They would hear drums.
No
Read
kidding.
the
Oh,
readout.
no
Read the
way.
readout.
No, dude, I didn't like that.
No
at all.
joke. No joke.
This...
Oops, sorry.
I was like, what turned on?
No joke.
This artifact has been donated to the archive by co-founder of Big Country Paranormal, Carrie
4GIGs.
This effigy was removed from a private residence in Columbus, Ohio, after the family had made reports of being watched. Strange appearance. That made me like jump up.
That was plain as day. Drums.
The family had made reports of being watched, strange sounds, humming, and overall uncomfortable vibe of odd reverberations, and could sense the rhythm of what seemed like drums.
Is there something attached to this idol doll? This black doll with his legs crossed? What made that noise?
I can't get over that.
That was clear
That was-
drums.
Yeah, that wasn't just, oh, that might have been.
That was clearly...
Yeah.
It had rhythm, like
That
boom, boom,
that
boom,
took
boom.
my breath a little bit on that one. That was interesting.
Can you do that again?
a 100%.
Show us.
consistently.
You're talking consistently now. We weren't getting any type of communication like this earlier.
Beat on the drums again.
Or do you want me to bang on some drums? We tried this earlier. Is there something in here that can... Is there something in here that can finish this rhythm? How many entities are with us right now?
Here's the something.
I think you heard the same thing.
Absence or absent?
Yes.
It's your luck.
What did you hear?
There's a knock.
There's a knock. What was that noise that came after that?
Wrong place? Something place?
To treasure? To treasure or took treasure?
Why don't we try the Estes method?
We prepare Marcus for an Estes Method Spirit Box session. This is a sensory deprivation method developed by Carl Pfeiffer and Connor Randall while they were working on their series Spirits of the Stanley in Estes, Colorado. Marcus will be blindfolded and using the Yamaha MT5 studio headphones. This will ensure the responses Marcus says aren't influenced by our questions. Normally, I record the Spirit Box using a digital recorder and a headphone splitter, However, I accidentally forgot it and will have to rely on Marcus for this session.
If there's anyone here with us, Marcus is listening to a device that is sitting over here, and if you walk up close to it and you speak into it loud enough, he'll be able to hear your voice. If anyone is in here, can you tell him your name? Is Hope here? Can you walk up to that device that Marcus is listening to?
I just saw a face wearing glasses. Like, just real quick, just popped into my vision. It's a male face with round jam jar glasses.
Ring the bell. It's hard to say.
If anyone is in here with us or in this house with us, walk over to that device that Marcus is listening to. Say your name. I'm gonna run Ghost Tube, not Vox, but I'm just gonna run Ghost Tube. See if anything happens.
What about the doll?
A woman's voice come through there, but I couldn't make anything out.
What about the doll that Danny's familiar with from Mount Morris?
Well, that was an EMF detection there. Using the magnetometer.
Can I point this at them?
What's up?
The two
Oh,
at
yeah,
them, since
yeah.
we're shooting that way?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there anybody here with us?
What's going to happen if we bring Hope out of the case? It might be the last time that she gets to do that for a while.
It's almost like something's trying to come through, but it doesn't have enough strength. It's being held back.
I just want to make a note for audio. I thought I heard a come from this corner, and maybe that camera caught it on the audio. Why won't you speak to us? We traveled a way to get here. Traveled a little ways to get here. And it seems very calm in here tonight.
Thought I felt something. Just make sure it was the cord. Two separate female voices.
Who's trying to communicate with Marcus?
Keep getting flashes of images that are very, very terrifying. Almost like it's trying to scare me.
Who's trying to scare Marcus? That's my tum-tum.
Like, yeah, these are not pleasant to look at. Full faces, clear as day. I just saw a nun. And a little girl that looks like Wednesday Addams.
Him.
What do you mean him? Are you talking about Marcus? There's that nun right there. And then that girl looks like Wednesday Addams.
What are your intentions?
Very, very angry man shouting. Not audibly, but I see him.
Who's giving Marcus these visions?
There's a girl smiling at me. Her eyes are black.
He's never talked about visions during the Estes Method ever.
You're not a real little girl, are you? You're something else. So why don't you cut the bullshit?
Something just made the static stop completely for a split second. Like no refresh rate, everything just went.
That's me. Say your name.
4.
The number 4. What does that mean? What does that have any relevance? What relevance does that have?
Run.
Run?
Something very, sounded like a little girl that sounded very scared. She whimpered, run.
What do we need to run from?
There's something there, but it's so faint.
Should we be afraid of something?
Is that a stabbing chest pain?
Is something affecting Marcus?
Spare something? Something's heightened. I can't tell what it is, but something is heightened. The refresh rate is a higher pitch now. It's faster.
What's that voice again?
Who is that?
Something deep tried to come through.
It's pretty relevant. What is your name? Talking to the deep-voiced male entity. What is your name? Looks like her face is changing. Does it not seem like it's moving to you?
Yeah, like her
Like
smile.
Pulsating, like moving. We see you.
Film her, dude.
Wake up.
Just sit.
Really like a name, Sid.
Yeah. Hope? Why do you embody a little girl? I couldn't make it out. Sounded... In all honesty, it sounded like it said fresh meat.
That's what I heard.
Hope, do you like being kept in the cabinet?
No.
What?
The male voice came through and said no.
Why do you not like being kept in the cabinet?
Do you not like being locked up?
Living.
Do you want Steve to let you out of the case? Good call.
Yeah, it sounded like it's tall.
Something just touched my waist.
Who touched Marcus?
I keep seeing shadows. Something walking back and forth in front of me.
Alright, I just switched the card.
And that camera will validate nothing's been moving.
Who was it?
Emmett.
That's what I heard.
Is there an Emmett here with us?
Plagued? Plated?
The boy.
The boy. Who's the boy?
Excuse me.
Who's the boy that you're talking about? Let's see what happens if we take her out. And he's still under.
Let's just crack the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Do it that way. Just tell me all the cameras are still.
it just breathed at me.
Yeah, as soon as I open the door.
It just got like 10 degrees colder in here.
Yeah, my hands. Yeah, it is cold.
I mean, it's cold in here anyways, but
It's
got
getting colder
right.
from this way.
It's
Yes.
ice, like Arctic cold.
Yes.
Well, I want to make a note on there. It says 53.6.4. It's fluctuating. So if it does get colder, I mean, it's been getting warmer since we've been in here.
That one.
Turn off.
Steve.
That
Did I
one.
hear Hummel?
I think it just said Steve Hummel.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally about to tell you that when he asked, if it said your last name.
Because I heard my last name pretty
I heard.
clear. Is the battery run dead on that one?
No, that one, they're still good. That one's
Yeah.
actually reading 50 degrees.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually warmer over there.
It makes no sense.
No.
It's like my hand's getting like really chilled.
Yeah, my arms are ice cold.
How?
How?
Does that feel better now that the door's open?
They heard it? I thought that just said open the case. Or opened case. Yo, I don't know if he's okay. Dude, let's get him out of there.
You alright? You good? Okay.
I'm gonna pull you out, man.
We didn't know if you maybe fell asleep or something.
No, just nothing's coming through.
It seemed like you were in a, like a trance, like
It
state.
felt like a trance there at the end.
Your head was kind of bobbling and
What weird thing happened? Remember you said you felt something like breathe against you? That happened exactly after he opened the case.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Right within a split second.
there was quite a few other things
That you said.
Yeah.
that correlated, I mean, almost immediately.
Because he did that, and you said something breathe against me, and I kind of went, like, it was within a second, if that.
It wasn't a feel. It sounded like it. Like it. I guess when that happened, it felt like something went. I did.
We had it on Vox.
Because it sounded like something went.
What you said.
Like
What
it was
all
almost.
you see?
Whenever I had mentioned
Guys, it froze.
What?
Yeah. It's frozen. My phone's not even turning. Oh wait, there we go.
As soon as I said it's almost like it's trying to scare me, they stopped. Shortly after that, and then I just saw nothing.
Well, you said that you had seen a vision of like a nun.
Yeah, that it scared the fuck out of me.
The nun doll over there.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Oh.
That came from across the river. Unfortunately, that house was torn down.
Yeah, it was not fun imagery.
And you said image of a girl that looked like Wednesday?
Yeah. No, hell no.
Yeah, dude.
After talking with Marcus about what we had experienced during the session, I grabbed the cameras to switch out the batteries and we head downstairs. Zach escorts me back upstairs to lock me in the dark room for the final session of our investigation.
you guys are heading downstairs. I've been waiting for this moment for a while now. Being face to face with you. I'm gonna turn on this device. It's your turn. Something. I'm not afraid of you. I thought I heard it say something die. Tell me your name. Your real name. Touch that light that's in front of me. Touch. Sounded like it said, "This is death." Why are people so afraid of you?
I continue to try and communicate for a few more minutes, but no prominent words or relevant responses are coming through. That is until I prepare to end the session, and it seems like someone or something wants to make itself known.
You know, who's here? Is that what you asked? I'm here.
And then you can.
Sounded like it said they're in you. Is anyone in here that's not Hope? It's getting really cold around me. Daughter. Hope, we don't have much time left to talk. Said who? We have limited time here tonight. Steve has to leave. We have to leave. Were you talking to Marcus earlier? What were you trying to tell Marcus? He saw visions. What's gonna happen when we close this case and we leave? You're not gonna leave with any of us. Who's downstairs right now? What are their names? To the spirits in this room, I want to say thank you for communicating with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for talking.
Yes.
Sounds like it said yes.
The Eagles are...
It's evil? Is there anything that you want to say to me before we leave?
Oh no.
That was clear. Oh no.
To come through.
To come through. To come through where? A portal? I'm gonna call the guys up here to put you back in. To close the open door that holds you in there. We'll talk again soon, Hope. Goodbye.
Archive of the Afterlife never disappoints. Steve's collection is by far one of the best and extensive when it comes to the objects of the paranormal. No matter what room you're in, you can feel like something is just lurking behind the corners. So did we make contact with Charlie in the doll room?
Do you know that you're here?
The dark time?
As in dark times or something like that?
Yeah.
That was really unsettling.
Listen to her.
Are you talking about someone down the hall?
You may have noticed this camera sitting by Steve in the doll room. You may have also noticed that during his interview, there wasn't a second camera angle like we normally do. Well, when I went to import the footage, all of the files from this investigation were mysteriously corrupted, and I put the same memory card back in my camera to do a test to see if it was the memory card, and it wasn't. I even tried using our advanced file repair in one of our programs to reclaim our footage like we normally do, but all of them failed. Down the hall in the general relics room, we had some interesting communication. Could it have been Nasira or her brother who might have been attached to the Dr. Seuss book?
One of them, the one closest to me, will actually light up.
What is your name?
What?
Sarah, if you can hear me, I'm aware of what happened to you.
Brother.
The dark room seemed like it was the most active room of the night, with the chanting idol making itself known.
Hope, was I praying?
Oh. What was your ear?
Oh, that's crazy.
No.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
No.
Dude, I've never.
Oh, God.
And they would, in the report of that, they would hear that. They would hear drums.
And the communication we had with Hope was absolutely incredible.
Hope, do you like being kept in the cabinet?
No.
What?
Ever since we've been in here.
Turn off.
Steve.
I hear Hummel.
I think it just said Steve Hummel.
Yeah.
I thought I heard it say something died.
Archive of the Afterlife is always an amazing experience, and we can't thank Steve enough for joining us in on this investigation. If you have a haunted object, spiritual tool, or an item of historic significance, contact Steve on how you can donate to him in his museum. You can also support the archive by visiting the museum or booking your own investigation. And maybe, just maybe, the collection will speak to you.